And just how much pain were you in with the shoulder during the game, or was it just more protecting it?
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where I'm able to play through it. Obviously, anytime you take a hit, fall on it, you feel it, but nothing that is holding me back or nothing I can't play through.
How many games have you played where you just used one hand for your handoffs?
Not too many games. I think early on when I had my thumb surgery, I was doing a lot with just right hand, and I think I just kind of subconsciously started doing that in this game.
Did you guys have to practice that last week,
No,
on the right
no,
hand side?
mm-mm, no.
Are you holding that backhanded when you do that?
Yeah, some of them, yeah, handing off backhanded. Yeah.
So Jordan, you've had two things this year: a thumb and a shoulder. Do you just thankful that it was the left side, not the right side?
Definitely.
Do you ever think about that?
No, definitely, yeah, for sure. Anytime you're dealing with anything, definitely would rather the non-throwing shoulder. You don't want to. I couldn't imagine, dealing with something on the throwing arm, trying to deal, especially the thumb or a shoulder. So definitely thankful for that.
If this was the throwing shoulder, would you not be able to play?
I have no idea. I haven't dealt with that on a throwing shoulder, so that's a good question. I have no idea how you'd play through it, or I don't know. I haven't been there before.
You said it was subconscious. Did your running backs know you were going to do that? Did Matt know that was the plan coming in, or was it really just, it just happened?
No, something just happened. Yeah, just something just happened.
What did Matt say on the sideline after a few of those?
Nothing. I don't think it's anything that throws anything off.
Okay.
I think it's still fine for the running backs, and I don't even think they notice. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordan, I don't want to disrespect you and call you a liar when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to this, but Baker Mayfield suffers the same injury, and he can't finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Carson Wentz, in excruciating pain with the exact same injury. So how are you managing it, and how are you playing through it? Because I understand the expectation with Favre and Rodgers is you play through everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you're doing that, but there's no way that it's not a burden for you, is it?
Yeah, it's an injury. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but with those guys, I'm not sure. What exactly their injuries are. I think every injury is a little bit different, and how guys feel from it. So it's something that we've done the test and kind of looked at it and examined it during the game. And it was something that we felt I could play through and go out there and continue to play through, and that's what we did.
So what can you, because again, they obviously are aware of it too, right? The Lions are.
Mm-hmm.
What are you able to do, not just from a game planning perspective or a handoff perspective, but actually are there things you can do to protect it, to reduce the danger of getting hit on it, or are there things you're able to do to reduce how bad it is?
Yeah, there's things that you were able to do, and we've done those things. So, we'll continue to do them, but, I'm not going to just continue to get into detail and talk through it. But there's definitely some things that we've done to help out and be able to play it and hopefully, put myself in the best foot forward. But at the end of the day, anytime you're injured playing through things, there's always chance of, risking, more injuries, things like that. So, yeah.
But it all stems from that play early in the Giants game.
Yeah, the play I took a hit on. Yep, that's exactly what it comes from.
2 years ago, Thanksgiving, what do you think that performance in Detroit did for this young core, its confidence, and the franchise moving forward from that point?
It was big time. I think going into that game, the kind of situation we're in the season, needing to win out and win all those games, and I think we went out there, and obviously we're playing against a really good Lions team, and I think we answered the call that we needed to do, and we made a lot of big time plays in that game, and we're able to come out on top. So I think it kind of helped us into that season with confidence, and just propelled us into the finish in the season and to go into playoffs. But I think it's always confidence boosters, and we got another opportunity to be able to go in there on Thanksgiving and on a short week and play another good Lions team.
Jordan, I guess at this point, where do you say the team confidence level is, especially coming off the performance you guys had on Sunday?
Yeah, I think coming off 2 wins in a row was great. I think it's always going to build that confidence, and 2 weeks that we did what we needed to do. And I think the mindset, like I've said before, is always going 1-0, and we know we got in front of us, and obviously a tough test to finish the season off. But love where we're at. We're in a great spot, and just got to keep stacking days and hopefully trending up and continue to play our best ball. Towards the end of the season.
Jordan, personally for you, you won the game on Thanksgiving there 2 years ago. Last year, you go into Detroit prime time on a Thursday night. You guys get down early, you come back, you had the lead, you kind of lose, back and forth game. when you come walking out of the tunnel in a visiting stadium, does that matter from like kind of the vibe, the psyche part that it's like, you think about the past experiences and the success that you've had?
Yeah, I think anytime playing somewhere, you'll remember those games and the feelings of being there. But, as we always say, every year's a new year. Every kind of game's a new journey in itself. But, yeah, you have the memories of playing in certain places and the feelings of those games.
Aiden Hutchinson, back in week 1, the interception that was called back, he hits you into Zach Tom. Zach injures his oblique. That's an illegal penalty. Is that a dirty hit by Aiden there? And what do you think about that now, 13 weeks later, getting set to face him again?
Yeah, I don't think nothing of it. I think a play happened, interception, and guys are always going to try and find the quarterback to try and block him. So I don't think nothing of it. Just a play that happened.
What's different about this Lions team than compared to what you guys saw in week 1?
I think. Looking at their film, it's a similar team. I think obviously it was just week 1. You never know what you're going to get coming into the new season, and now we've got a lot of tape to watch and kind of game plan differently. But similar team. I think they've dealt with some injuries. We have as well, so that always plays a factor. But I don't think much has changed with them.
What can Jade Reed add to this offense whenever he does return?
Just another explosive playmaker to have out there. I think the things he does is great, and I think we've been missing some of that. But he'll be another kind of consistent guy to have in the slot, and I think we all know what he can bring to the table when he's out there. So just got to hopefully get him back as soon as possible.
Jordan, how do you get, after 12 weeks of the season, 11 games, how do you find out the next level of consistency that's evaded you to this point?
Yeah, you just got to keep stacking those days, man, and keep trying to be as consistent as possible as a player and as a team. Keep building on the good things we've done, and obviously trying to limit the negative things and just cleaning up, like I said before, the details. Everybody being on the same page, and that's what's cool about the season is as you go through it, you see a lot of different looks, and obviously you can coach up the things that we've done wrong and try and just keep stacking and improving on those, be as best as possible.
Do you see progress in that regard?
Definitely. I think we've improved a lot of areas, and there's still a lot of room for improvement. Like I said before, injuries happen, and guys have stepped up and been able to learn from some different mistakes that we've made. But I've definitely seen a lot of progress, and we just got to keep building on it.
There were a lot of questions for Matt after the game the other day about why did you run so much, this, that, the other. Christian was telling me doing that type of thing, taking the air out of the ball, did save guys' bodies. Do you agree with that? And as a quarterback, with all the Toyota-thon talk last week, how hard was it to be disciplined and be like, okay, that's the way to go?
No, you come into a game, kind of with a game plan, and then obviously as the course of the game goes on, what the situation is, if you have a lead, defense playing good, all those things play a factor in that. And, I'm all about winning games, and that's the bottom line. So however we got to go out there and win it, we'll do what we need to do. If you got to throw the ball 50 times, we'll do that. If you throw it 10 times, that's just what happens sometimes, and we'll play how we do.
So how's it been working with Sean Ryan now the last couple of weeks? Now you go into a noisy Ford Field on Thursday, so that's got to be something that's on your mind, right?
Definitely. It's always a test. Playing there, it's obviously a great environment, a very loud environment. So, we've been there before. We know what it's about. And like we said, communication's got to be on point, and it'll be another test for Sean. I think obviously last week with the different pressure looks and different things and just the communication, he did a good job with that and stuff to build on. But obviously another new test, being on the road, dealing with silent count, and just all the, how we get in and out of the huddle, how we listen in the huddle and can hear the plays and just understand the plan. So we can go out there, play fast, and have a clean operation is very important. So it'll be a good test.
Jordan, going back to the Bill's line of questioning, I know you guys as an offense would like to have been more consistent to this point, but after the Pittsburgh game, Matt made the comment that we'd be crazy not to run the offense through Tucker, and then you lose Tucker.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you guys are still kind of feeling your way in the kind of after Tucker era? And if you can find it when you get Jaden back, you could be in a really good spot, kind of hitting your stride offensively. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think, the way Tucker was playing, we were trying to feed him definitely as much as possible. And then, like you said, injuries happen. He's done for the season, so you got to adjust. And then, obviously, we got Christian back, who's been making some big-time plays. And other guys kind of just been dealing with some small injuries, things like that. Josh banged up last week. So there's always different circumstances where you kind of got to adjust how you go out there and play games and who you kind of go through. And like you said, getting Jay Reed back, whenever he comes back, will be cool. But I think the offense, you got to constantly be evolving and finding ways to get, guys who are kind of hot in the moment. Keep feeding them and find ways to evolve as an offense. But that's the journey of the season as it goes through, and injuries happen, which sucks. But you got to find ways to keep going, keep adjusting.